All right, hello. We are doing the group assignment, and my name is Jason Ramirez.
My name is Jacqueline Garcia.
Hello, Mandy.
Giovanni. My name is Jorge.
Cool. And then today we're going to be talking about the current events that are happening with immigration and the just current events, I guess, that's happening. So, someone wants to start us off?
Well, I mean, just with all the Instagram stuff, you could go ahead and see all the people just getting dragged into trucks. And then right now I saw supposedly that I guess one of the Walmart kids turned out to be like an American citizen.
Yeah.
So like if that happens to be true, it's like how sloppy was this whole operation?
Yeah.
It's definitely very scary. I mean, in my opinion, it's like, I mean, I'm very blessed and I feel very privileged to have legal status here. But like you just said, you know, if that gentleman was taken, how safe am I? How safe are my siblings? It's definitely some scary times we're all going through. A lot of these people are just trying to, you know, go to work and come back home to their family, and it's very, very saddening to see that, you know, a lot of people are being taken away. And truthfully, I feel like we could do a lot more. Yeah, it's just very sad.
Yeah, no, I agree, because like I know a lot of like personal like friends and family that personally they don't have papers, or they're still in the process, or they're on the waiting list, or they're just scared of like going outside, just to like they've just been locked up in their houses, you know. But yeah, that's just really sad. And it's so weird like how this whole process like played out. Like it just doesn't seem like democratic. It doesn't seem like legal. That, or to me at least, maybe just because I'm only 19, but it's just such a shock to see like that, like our people that are supposed to be like our government and our like police and our, you know, like head of like security are the ones that are like almost like attacking us, you know, in a sense. But yeah, it's just very scary. I'm very privileged to be like a legal citizen here, and you know, be able to go outside and have the exactly those rights.
That there should be fair, I guess, treatment on how they're going about things, how they're detaining people, how they're being detained, like in what areas they're being detained. I heard it wasn't great, and I heard that, well, kind of what Obama did wasn't great, and I don't know how it's compared to then compared to now. I know that's kind of when the immigration thing started, and then Biden pardoning people, and then kind of now Trump is
Revoking that?
Yes. I really don't know what to say about police officers. I heard they're not doing their job from different people's perspectives. And as far as service members being involved, I don't know how they're going about it either. But I feel like how it's done is more important than it being done. It should be done, but it should be done in a safer way. And it shouldn't be, you know, like women, children, their families, and fathers being deported when they're trying to make a better life for themselves here. There should be some type of fair treatment for people trying to immigrate into our country.
I agree, especially since they're, as of right now, it seems like they're just all being like hurled up and then sent to the detention center, and then just staying there, and we don't know the actual like status of like some of these like centers, and like
I actually read a few articles online today while I was at work that there's like a lot of family members that are very concerned, like their family members haven't had food, that there's no beds, that they're like sleeping on the ground. And to me, it's like, that's ridiculous. Like, I feel like in our history, you know, what we've learned in school, like, we should have grown more than that. Like, I feel like instead of taking steps forward, we're taking 10 steps back. And to me, that's very, very sad to see. And think you mentioned the Walmart gentleman. I think his mom is like all over the news
Yeah.
that she doesn't even know where her kid
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Like, how does the kid get lost in the system?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
The disruption after COVID, I feel like it shows all the cracks in what we thought our government was to us. It's just right now we're just seeing how the aftermath. To me personally, like the reason I came back to school was because of COVID. I kind of saw it as our renaissance. So this is our like rebirth of like what we see our new chapter in life. So as like seeing all this play out, it's like yeah. So it's like kind of seeing it all play out is like it's not the first time. Anytime it's like I was hearing someone talk on a podcast about like I think one of the leading polls that he's doing good is in immigration. That's why he's amplifying it. But if you're talking about economics, everything's still expensive. He said inflation is down, but the prices aren't. The cost of living is still significantly higher than what we're getting paid hourly. So it's like the reason we're seeing all of this is the fact that that's where he's leading. This is what he was going towards, but now like seeing, I guess what, like it's weird to agree with Tucker Carlson at this point because I was seeing him interview Ted Cruz, and there was like a revealing like part of the interview where he was talking about like how there's still this whole religious aspect where it's like the reason we're in war is mostly because of like there's still that religious aspect, and then we have that religion ingrained into our school system regardless. So it's like our founding fathers left England, or not England, but like obviously over Europe to colonize here and like free of religion, but it seems like Christianity is the one leading, and then there's all this money coming from like Israel to influence. So I feel like all our money is going outside of the US rather than taking care of the local issues, all because of foreign influence. But again, coming back to like the whole COVID kind of disrupted everything. So it's like we're kind of realizing now, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think adding on to like how you mentioned that there's a big like how much money is being invested in other programs like Medicare for people who don't afford it. You know, Social Security. I just read an article that in a decade we're not going to have any money for Social Security. Like,
and then that also comes back to like
I'm so young. I'm going to need that when I'm a little older. You know.
It also comes to like us not reproducing more. So it's like the kids that we're gonna pay into our Social Securities aren't gonna be there to pay for it.
You know what? I had never thought
So
about it that way too.
that's why it's gonna not be there because of after the World War II. I think something about the baby boomers had a big influence. But after that, like we didn't like keep that population growing, so it kind of shrunk to a point where it's like there's these baby boomers that are going to retirement, but there's not enough people to like pay into their social, and
Now
that's
that
why.
there are more people retiring than what the system can afford. I think that's what it is, and that's what they don't.
They can't, yeah. It's
They're
something about
afraid
like
of
they
that.
can't really afford it. That's why you're seeing
Yeah.
some people go back to work, like they're
that's
older.
The cost of living is so expensive.
Yeah.
It is expensive.
How do you guys feel about, I guess, undocumented workers, people with immigrant here, not paying taxes?
I'm gonna give you a take on that. So me as an immigrant, I was a person who will work under a fake social security number. I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I was legalized, I am a citizen, privileged to be a citizen, but I was that immigrant that I used to work. And to be honest, I see that I'm on a little defense of that. That we do work. I'm pretty sure some of them do work as with a fake social security number. I used to work, and they would take money out of the money that I couldn't claim. I couldn't even the taxes. So all the money that it was taking from my paycheck, which is like $200 or $100, depends on my amount. And I never saw it because I didn't have the right to claim that money, the taxes to get tax refunds. So that money, I am pretty sure there's most people who are doing that. And also there's an easy number, which I know so many people who are smart and educated immigrants who come here, they go and request that, which you can start paying your taxes. You know, so there's. You know,
I think
something
just-
you can use, but
yeah. Now the other ones who were, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there is some that are
my
right.
focus is on
The ones that are working under the table.
I think it's bad because you get exploited on both sides.
It is,
so
yeah.
either the employer is gonna go ahead and pay you less, and then you're gonna do twice as much work because they know that if that dollar is gonna be worth more to you, then it's gonna be worth to someone else.
And also, you know, you're still consuming. They're still consuming. This is what this country wants.
Yeah.
People consuming. And if you see that, I know I was reading an article of Hispanics. Basically, I'm not sure Hispanic or yeah. So most of the Hispanics are the big consumers in this country. We consume. We are
Yeah.
consumers. Even we
We're
go and buy
over-consumers,
whatever.
unfortunately.
Exactly
Yeah,
right.
right.
Food. I actually was in Los Angeles yesterday at my favorite restaurant. I don't know if you guys know the Andres Italian restaurant, which is very famous. They have the great pasta in LA. It used to be so packed every day. Every day was super packed, like Monday to Sunday. There wasn't even a day. There wasn't an hour. There wasn't packed. So yesterday I was celebrating my nephew's promotion, 8th grade promotion. So we went to eat there. It was empty. Like I was like shocked, and I'm like, oh my God, where is the people? Like, where is everybody?
I feel
And
like
it's because everybody's afraid to go out. And so therefore, I mean, I'm pretty sure the economy is going to suffer right now because
it
there's
already is.
Yeah.
I just went to the store the other day and there was like
Right?
nobody.
There's
I was like, where's
Yeah.
the world? And it was a Sunday. It was
Yeah.
Father's Day. I was like,
Yeah.
where's everybody at? Like, this is not normal.
Yeah, there are certain sections of LA that are just empty.
empty. It's dead, especially LA. That is
Yeah,
packed.
yeah.
I can imagine downtown.
do you think that the tariffs would bring more money into the economy by, I guess, industrializing and producing more food because our main source of like income is import export. So if we stop that and we put a hold on that and we're like we did with Mexico, and we're also growing our own produce and building our own economy, do you think that would help with the
Yes and
immigration
no.
and
Well, I
would
feel
also
like-
bring money back?
For the tariffs, if you really think about it, we're paying them.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example,
Yeah.
like the shirt he has on, right? If his shirt is like
China.
$20, but it's imported from China,
No, it's-
whoever's buying them is not going to charge them $20 anymore. They're going to charge them $30. So really, it's like I don't think the tariffs are beneficial because us as the consumers are ultimately paying them as well, one way or another.
And going back to the whole thing, people under the table, so they'll just hire people under the table to keep the nickel and dime the profit.
And I mean, as someone who works in the workforce, like I work for a staffing agency, so I do I-9s, I do verifies and stuff. These people are all paying the same amount of taxes I pay, he pays if he's working. And like she mentioned, you're putting money into a jar, you're never gonna see it. So I feel like yes, there are some people who are being paid under the table, but I do feel like there's a very, very large number, maybe like 80%, I would say, of people who are working with not good jobs who don't pass E-Verify who are still paying their taxes.
And then some of those tariffs will go to make relationships. So when you kind of disrupt that, you kind of disrupt that relationship with the country. So that's why now people are like, how much business do we want to make with America type stuff. Because like he's using it as a like, yeah, we're gonna bring jobs back to America, but like what jobs are they really bringing? They were building the semiconductors for computer chips and all that stuff, and then he cut all of that, and they were building manufacturing plants, and that's something we're gonna do. And then like so, it's like where is he gonna be making those jobs for those terrorists to kind of cut off where we're gonna be already paying extra in a time when we don't have any.
I mean, going to like building our own or growing our own crops, building our own economy to really hard to do that if you don't have a workforce. Like previously to
Community.
COVID, I was in staffing still, and my job is to obviously recruit for these clients and bring them people to work. And prior to COVID, it was really hard. Like nobody wanted to work. And now it's like there's no work, and you have a bunch of people wanting to work, but it's like
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of companies who shut down, a whole bunch of companies
I
these
think
tariffs
there's a
are
record.
affecting.
There's a record this year for bankruptcies.
Everything is so expensive, so it's like
And then those tariffs are only going to make prices go up in a time where shops are already closing. So
That's
I think we hit our mark.
yeah, but we
right?
definitely did. Yeah,
Yay!
15 minutes.
Alright, cool.
I'm going to go get that.